Good, whatever time of day it is, morning, afternoon, evening, good night. It's that Christmas period where people have probably already started breaking up. It's only the 13th of December as we say this, so if you are breaking up right now, then goddamn, settle down. But whatever time of day you're watching this, welcome in to The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by Mr. Bib. I'll read Bib.
Good after morning, Graham. Oh, it's absolutely not. We're still in morning.
Still in the morning. Yeah, absolute punctual beasts. And not only is it still in the morning, if anyone doesn't know, if this is the first time you're listening to the podcast and you're not watching us live on twitch.tv/ice cream, then we somehow have garnered a reputation for not going live at 10 a.m. when we're supposed to. People call it ish. I don't know where that came from. God damn. 10 a.m. ish is when we go live on twitch.tv/ice cream for The Scoop on a Friday. It used to be every single weekday, but we do it as a weekly podcast now where we bring you the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games once a week. Like I say, Friday on Twitch. If you do want to join it live, you can join us there. If you don't want to join it live, you can catch up on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and Amazon Music and Google Plays and other places, and probably somewhere that I've forgotten or included that shouldn't have been in there. Basically, the podcast is everywhere. You can listen to it. Ah, shit. Here we go again. So, yeah, if you want to get involved, please do feel free to get involved because the live stream is turned into that podcast, and those listening on demand do not get to jump in and give us their thoughts and opinions, which you guys can do on behalf of those. And it'd be good if you do, because this whole episode is going to be dedicated to what went on about 12 hours ago to about 6 hours ago, which was the Game Awards 2024. That took place last night / this morning EU time, so we didn't want to stay up that late, so we thought we'd cover it today in the podcast, and that's what this whole episode is about. Before we jump into that, though, just a few points. If you are a sub to the channel, you could bag yourselves a prize like ESG Smithy did just this week. It should have been last week, but we may have missed it, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, Smithy bagged himself a game of his choice, which he chose WWE 2K24, which we have sorted out for him already, so GG's to Smithy for that. Speaking of giveaways, we also literally about 10 minutes ago gave away the Astro A50 Gen 5 headset. If you want to know who won that, keep your eyes on the Discord. We'll post an update in there, or you can go back and watch the pre-show. It's up to you. But yes, prizes everywhere. Also, one final shout out to Logitech G for our Christmas presents. You might have seen me unboxing it on Wednesday. Bibby unboxed his yesterday, and we'll have some unboxing content of Bibby's going out across short form content. So if you do see that, please, will it be today? Nice. So if you see that video, go out, give it a like, comment, do all of the things wherever. It'll be on TikTok, it'll be on Insta. We'll probably post it on Blue Sky and X as well, but it'll be on your general short form vertical content stuff. So, yeah, make sure you get involved. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nice. Okay, over to the split screen. Mr. Bib.
Yes.
Game Awards. Last night. You stayed up because you are a notorious night creature, right?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I definitely wasn't in bed for about 8:30, 8:45 last night.
Wild child. So yeah, have you been through any of it? Have you seen any of it? Have you watched it, or have you kind of left yourself for this?
Yeah, so I tend to do that when it comes to big announcements. If we're not covering them live at a decent time, usually like the Gamescom stuff, if you're not there, or the E3 stuff back in the day, we'd usually get it like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, which is quite nice for us in the UK to be able to cover. The Game Awards, man. Is it LA that it's at? And it's like you say, it's at stupid o'clock in the morning. There's no way that I'm staying up and I'm watching it. So I like to save myself with it. Now, when I pull the news together for the show today, it's only going to be our only story because it's usually the biggest one. It takes forever for us to be able to go through, watch trailers, talk about each one. I quickly scrolled down to see how many there was actually in there. There is quite a few. But one trailer that I did see, because I was like, what the fuck, a new football game was announced?
Yeah.
That's the only one that I've seen out of all of the things that got announced yesterday. I haven't even been on social media this morning, apart from posting the tweet that we've gone live with. So everything genuinely is a mystery to me this morning.
Well, the bit that you just mentioned then about the game, that's the bit that I was talking about from Slow Clap. I saw that was just announced as I went to sleep last night. I was like, okay, I want to watch this, and I started watching it, and I went, do you know what? I'll leave it. I'll watch it tomorrow instead. So that's kind of the only bit that I've seen. So yeah, we'll jump into that. Just as you mentioned that, you mentioned posting on social media, so I'm just going to go in and hit a repost on the old Blue Sky, because I've not done the Blue Sky one yet. Repost. Bosh. We are on Blue Sky. If you don't know what Blue Sky is, it's basically Twitter, but without porn bots or that stuff. So if you do want to get involved in there, we are Ice Cream Uploads over there. BRB might miss a lot. I'm going to bake some cookies.
I'll have one, thank you, mate.
Oh, yes, please.
Don't worry, Sean. Just turn it up so you can listen to us. Job's good. Okay, we'll jump over to the news panel because we have one big old story. We've mentioned it already. But it is
seen
this.
Adam pop in here as well.
You seen what?
I just seen Adam. Sorry I wasn't on stream when you got boys did the draw. I was in a meeting. I'm fucking buzzing.
Ah. Let's. I'm assuming you read the terms and conditions, right? The delivery charge is about 60 quid each for me and Bibbe. For some reason, it needs to be split between us. If you just PayPal us the 60 quid, your job's nice. That's nice. No, we're talking about everything announced at the Game Awards 2024. This is an article on Eurogamer. You can probably find an article of similar shapes or forms across your VGCs and your VG247s or whatever. But this one was written by Katharine Castle over at Eurogamer, and it is a pretty comprehensive list. So this is the only story that we're going to have today, but it goes through, as you may have seen before, we've done this for the last few years. It has some blurb and some video content on every single game. The last few years, we've tried to then have extra stories after it. There's kind of no point because this is everything you need to know right now. So back into it. Everything announced at the Game Awards 2024. Witcher 4, Elden Ring Night Rain, Okami sequel, more. Nice. That was a great game. So for the 10th year running, the Game Awards 2024 was packed with tons of game reveals this evening, and we've got the complete rundown of everything announced right here. Below, you'll find all the new Game Awards trailers shown tonight, as well as a quick rundown of what was actually announced. A quick note, we're keeping this We're keeping this list focused on proper new announcements and game reveals this year, so you won't find any 3-second advert style trailers saying, hey, remember this game exists, go and buy it now. Rather, we're here for the real stuff, all the Game Awards trailers and reveals for the big new blockbusters coming out in 2025 and beyond. So sit back and enjoy every announcement from the Game Awards in order as they were revealed during the show, because we've got everything from The Witcher 4 to Naughty Dog's next game and loads more besides, right here for your viewing pleasure. Nice. Big fan of that, because you cut out all the chaff and just give us the wheat, baby. Okay, first up, I'll hit play on this, but turn it down a tad. Ninja Gaiden returns from the maker of Oh, fuck me, the whole screen just shot away. From the makers of Blasphemous, or is it Blasphemous? I don't know. Well, that's certainly one way to kick off the Game Awards pre-show. Ninja Gaiden is back with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Merc! Thank you for the 10 months. Please. 2 scoops, please. We got you right here, baby. So, yeah, we're kicking things off. Ninja Gaiden returns from the maker of Blasphemous. I'm going to hit mute on it, to be fair, while I'm talking. Well, that's certainly one way to kick off the Game Awards pre-show. Ninja Gaiden is back with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, made by The Game Kitchen, the studio behind the rock-hard Souls 8, Metroidvania, Blasphemous, and Dotemu, the publisher behind Streets of Rage 4 class game. Ragebound looks set to follow in Blasphemous' 2D pixel art footsteps for an agile slice-and-dice adventure that's almost certainly going to kick our collective asses when it arrives in summer 2025. Thoughts?
My first thought is I think I've been saying Ninja Gaiden wrong all my life, and I've been calling it Ninja Gaiden. That's the first thing I picked up on.
You could be right. To be fair, I saw it as Gaiden, like Raiden kind of thing. So, but you could be, because Raiden is spelt Raiden in Mortal Kombat, but it's Raiden in Metal Gear. So you could be right as well. I don't know. Does anybody know? Oh,
are we both fucked it? And he pronounced it completely different.
Did Sydney Goodman say it at the end?
Oh, I've got it on mute.
She says Ninja Gaiden. So you're right. There we go. Graham is overruled. Ninja Gaiden. Skadoosh.
Yeah, that's probably the first time in my life that I've actually been right.
Let's go. Okay, anyway. 2D Ninja Gaiden, what are your thoughts?
Yes, it looks really good. I mean, this is trying to find the right words here without it sounding disrespectful, but we are at a point now, I think, where we're looking back at nostalgia and embracing it. And I'm definitely in that camp. Like, this looks like a game that I would fucking love to go back and play again. But I don't have to go back and play it because it's a brand new game. So this is definitely up my street. I love side-scrolling beat 'em ups. Obviously, this is more like a slash 'em up, shall we say?
Slice and dice.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to this. And like the music that's being played over the trailer, I'm not sure whether or not it's one that's going to actually feature in the game, but again, it just feeds into that nostalgia feel to it. And these are the games that I grew up playing, and I'm more than happy to go back and revisit them. And it may be even the possibility that Joseph may end up, this might be Joseph's first game that he actually sits down and plays. There's people in the office whose kids are obviously now growing up a little bit, and they went back and started playing on the NES, the SNES and the Mega Drive minis and stuff like that. Just 3 buttons, you know what I mean, or 4 if you're using the SNES controllers with the bumpers and stuff. Like, not too overwhelming, not too confusing. Get to know and learn how to play video games. This is definitely one of those that you could potentially learn with. I mean, it'd be quite difficult. The other ones were quite difficult, so this is right up my street, genuinely.
Seeing Ninja, I mean, I don't even know it was called Gaiden, let alone Gaiden or any of that sort of stuff. So seeing Ninja Gaiden didn't tickle my pickle. I was like, oh, yeah, it was fine. Then the anime sort of like intro sort of stuff, I was like, okay, this looked cool, but am I going to play it? And then seeing the actual gameplay, I'm like, do you know what? Maybe I will. And then what actually changes my perspective is having a Steam Deck. This looks like something that I could just smash through quite easily. Or if it's co-op, like we did with Streets of Rage 4 and so on, yeah, sign me up. Okay, that looks good. Great way to start. I'm assuming this is done in chronological order, so this must have been pre-show. Next up is One Move Away. So One Move Away is one for the unpacking heads out there. We've all done it at one point or another. It's car boot Tetris time with One Move Away, which is coming in 2025 to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Think unpacking, but with cars. And you're pretty much there with this one, as it looks like we'll be picking up the same car across several different years at key points in our character's life, and it looks absolutely delightful. So it's a physical, spatial sort of stack things simulatory sort of game, but with narrative behind it, because you're going through life. So you'll probably, I assume, have moving off to college, moving out of your first family home, moving in with someone else. So you've got the satisfying sort of almost pressure washer simulator of like monotonous task that somehow is quite addictive, mixed with the narrative of someone moving out, moving home. Interesting. Thoughts, Pib?
Yeah, I don't think this one's for me. I think it would only be fun in VR. I can't see myself as someone who loves playing games like Pressure Washer Simulator, like House Flipper and things like that. This one doesn't tickle me pickle, unfortunately. I think it will only be fun in VR. I don't even think it's a game that I'd probably want to watch someone playing either. I think I don't think it's for me.
So the what do they call it? Unpacking. There we go. Unpacking was a game that I probably would play. Like, I heard it described to me. It's on Xbox Game Pass, and it's similar sort of narrative, physical game. So I'd probably give this a go. But once again, I don't think I'd go out of my way to try it as well. So interested take though. So we'll keep moving. Slay the Spire 2 gets a new gameplay trailer. Have you played Slay the Spire?
I think I might have started it and not played it too long. I know it's one of Bamba's favourite games of all time, but I got nowhere near completing it.
Kenny Reedy, hi! Thank you for the wall of text. I'm just gonna sit here and read. Oh, it's gone. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's unlucky, mate. Okay, back into the room. Slay the Spire 2 is already a known quantity, but this latest trailer gives us our best look yet at the sequel to everyone's favourite deck-building roguelike obsession. There are hints of 4 character types down and lots of nifty-looking battles. You'll also be pleased to hear that it's still coming to early access in 2025. Yeah, this is not me. I'm not so much a card battler in any way, shape, or form, but I'm glad someone likes it. Nice, tickle your pickle. Let's go, baby. Speaking of Bamba, Dave the Diver. The best indie game, but not quite indie game, but defo an indie game, but 100% not an indie game of last year, now has a sequel-ish. So Dave the Diver in the Jungle, which that doesn't make sense, but we'll go for it anyway. Only the briefest of teasers for this one. I'll hit play on it. But everyone's favourite diver, Dave, is seemingly headed to the jungle for his next adventure. At the time of writing, it's unclear whether this is an expansion or a full-blown sequel, likely the former. But whatever it is, it's coming in late 2025. Have you played Dave the Diver?
Again, only on Bamba's Steam Deck. It's not something I've ploughed any relevance of time towards it. Everyone tells me how amazing it is and how much that I would probably enjoy playing it. But it's not a game that I've got round to yet. But by all accounts, this is an absolute gem of a game. I think that this is probably going to be some DLC. I don't think it'll be a full-blown... Then again, I don't know how long it actually taken to make Dave the Diver the original, so it could well be a sequel, and it took no time at all to be able to pull it together, because if it's using the same engine or whatever, it's just new missions, right?
I mean, it's not coming for another year yet, so...
Yeah, it's a long old time then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, is it Mint Rocket or
Mint
something?
Rocket.
Yeah, and they are backed by Nexon, or are owned by Nexon, or something like that. So there was a big kickoff last year when this was nominated, and I think won Indie Game of the Year because it was backed by a mega corporation, or owned by a mega corporation. But we'll leave that aside. It is what it is. I've never played it, so I can't really comment. What I will say is this looks fucking class, though. I love this sort of like pixel art styling, but high quality pixel art styling. Yes, please. So I'll keep my eye on that. But we'll move ahead. Thick as Thieves is a new stealth action multiplayer game from Warren Spector Studio. Warren Spector Studio, Warren Spector Studio, Other Side Entertainment, has unveiled its first game, Thick as Thieves, a multiplayer thief 'em up that blends heist-based stealth with frantic action as you work to beat other would-be hustlers to the punch as you steal high-value treasures from fancy mansions. It's coming out in 2026 to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. It's a long old wait, 2026, I suppose. It could be early 2026, so it's just over a year. But do you fancy some thief 'em up action?
No. I'm trying to. I'm watching the trailer now, and it looks good. It looks really good, but I just don't get on well with stealth games anymore. When I was much younger, in my teenage years, absolutely big fan of them, and I don't know why. I've just kind of moved away from them, and I don't particularly want to go back to them anytime soon. So this doesn't really tickle my pickle. I know we keep on saying it, but yeah, this isn't one for me.
It has. How can I put it? Do you know it? Redfall. There we go. I'll just go straight into it. It looks like the first trailer for Redfall. This smoke and mist and quirky art style and mansion-y sort of stuff that's kind of Fortnite-esque, but not Fortnite-esque, and weapons that have got like electric sort of beams and stuff on it. It looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but until I really know more about it, I'm not that bothered about this one. Okay, that's cool, but I don't really know what it is, so still got a long old time to wait, so we'll come back to it and see it then, but at the moment I'm not too fussed. Next up, Shadow Labyrinth is a secret level fueled take on Pac-Man. So riffing on the just-released Pac-Man episode of Amazon's Secret Level TV anthology series, this new take on Pac-Man looks to be an intriguing dark fantasy Metroidvania where old Pac, or Puck as it's known in the TV show, guides a homegrown creature to the end of a maze-like world. In the episode, Puck manipulates the creature to try and escape, but it looks like you'll have a greater control of Puck's monstrous jaw powers here. Still, I'm quietly intrigued by this one.
Yeah.
Having not seen Secret Level, any of the episodes of Secret Level, that's kind of lost on me. Thoughts?
Same. However, I'm watching the trailer and it looks bizarre. It looks like Pac-Man turns into Venom. But it actually looks good. Again, side-scrolling game, some form of platformer. I don't know. I actually don't know what it's trying to be at this moment in time. But my first impression is this looks like something that I genuinely would play. Like you mentioned about your Steam Deck, this stinks of a Nintendo Switch game. It looks brilliant.
It's probably not my kind of game, but I can appreciate how stunning it looks, and seeing, like, in the same way that I played and enjoyed Resogun for longer than I expected, but not for as long as other people. and it was a stunning, amazing game, but not my genre of game. And that's what this looks like. It looks stunning. That when you say it turns into Venom towards the end. Kenny Reed has just messaged us on Instagram as well. Get the message. Get the fuck. Unless that's Kenny Reed is a person that's actually just been hacked. Unlucky, mate. Okay, next up. Steel Paws is a new mobile game from Yu Suzuki. Coming to Netflix games in 2025, Steel Paws is Yu Suzuki's latest. Quite a departure from the likes of Shenmue and his more recent Air Twister, but this anime-infused adventure looks to feature a Mega Man-like heroine and her robot buddy as they tackle a Tower of Babel-like structure. No more details as of yet, though. So, do you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna skip past this one because we've got an anime sequence and no details. Okay, we'll go ahead. So,
it's a mobile game, which I've not got any problem with at all. But it could be 1,000,001 different type of games if it's a mobile game.
Yeah. But even that, like hearing at Netflix games, I know Netflix games has the mobile section within the Netflix app. If you didn't know that, if you wanted to play like not Streets of Rage 4, but the Turtles game from .emu or whatever, you can get those within the Netflix app on your phone. If you didn't know that, there you go. Okay. I'm assuming it's Kiora or Kiora. I'm going to say Kiora because it's a drink that's kind of like a Capri Sun, and that's kind of in fixing with where we are with the show. So it could be Kiora, but actually, Sydney Goodman's on screen. Is she going to say it? No. From the creators of Core Keeper comes a new pixel colony sandbox, Kiora. It looks delightful in all 30 seconds we're shown of it, but its Steam page reveals it will have a proc gen world and up to 8-player co-op. Kind of hard to say. It's in a world. We're going past it. Wishlist now. Okay. If you want to wishlist it, there you go. We'll keep moving ahead. This, though, is where things started to get spicy for me last night. Spicy enough for me to turn it off and go to sleep because I wanted to know about it in detail. But Rematch is the next game from Sifu Studio, Slow Clap, and it's about football. Let me hit play and mute. Well, I don't know about you, but I wasn't necessarily expecting the next game from Sifu Studio Slow Clap to be a footy game. I can hear taps squealing from here, let me tell you. Rematch is an online multiplayer game that's primarily built for 5v5 matches. Did someone say Rush? God damn. But other modes will be coming post-launch, as well as other seasonal bits and pieces as well. Rematch is set to launch on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC next year. Okay, so we do have quite a long history with football games. What are your thoughts, your initial impressions on this, Pip?
I don't know. It gives me like Captain Tsubasa vibes. It actually looks like the eFootball update that's coming through for the Captain Tsubasa stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I think the goalkeeping might actually be fun on this game, but it all looks a bit off.
What I find,
I don't think this is aimed at us. I don't think this is aimed at us. I don't think this is aimed at your football purists. Let's be honest. I think this is aimed at a completely different audience that likes football, maybe that doesn't necessarily play the football games, but has an interest in this kind of art style, because I can guarantee now this isn't going to play like a proper football game.
What's interesting for me is we had football games, and then we had arena battlers, and then someone said, what if we put football in an arena battler with cars? And then someone's gone, okay, that's Rocket League. Nice. So Rocket League is football in an arena battle with cars. What if we did football in an arena battle with cars, but without cars? It's like, so go back to football? So it's kind of a weird, almost reverse step, which I think, actually, football's never had a really good arena battler. The 5v5 stuff, up until recently, I mean, obviously, we've got the FIFA Streets and stuff like that, but it was never online sort of stuff. It was always just local co-op and so on, local versus. So we've never had that. EA have got it now with Rush, and we've tried it with Volta previously and so on. It's still not fully evolved. So having something that does that and pushes it to the max, like a Rocket League, could be amazing. And that's a big statement, though. But when you look at this, I'm thinking, okay, it's got a nice, cool art style. It's like Rocket League's not real cars. It's not real football. It's its own art style. Fine. Big fan of the fact they've took their own direction. Slow Clap did that with Sifu, and it looked amazing. But the bit where it does fall down for me is where Bibby says it's not aimed for football purists. That's the bit. So, like here, guy taking up the ball, has a shot, nice. Someone strikes a volley, nice. Keeper with a dive, nice. They're in some sort of almost mythical fucking gladiatorial stadium. Someone else has a shot, blah, blah, blah. But then it changes to here. It changes to a woodlandy sort of stuff. Okay, that's cool as well. You're playing in the middle of a forest and things. That's cool. But it was this one bit, which might have happened already. There, that was it. This bit is what kind of puts me off, is anyone that plays football and sports games in that sort of sense, your animations and interactions are really important. But 43 seconds into this video, someone goes for a slide tackle and the player basically shimmies past and then moves forward. But it all just looks very stop motion, which obviously it doesn't have the fluidity of modern football games. I'll play it now. Dun, dun. It was just block, like doom. There was no inertia, there was no movement physics. It was just like In a car's not moving like a fully articulated person in Rocket League, so you don't need that. But on this, like, your limbs and stuff aren't moving. You just go hard one way, hard the other way. You've not got your momentum carrying you forward, and that's where I think this will probably be fun. But after a while, after not even a while, a very short while, I'll be like, okay, yeah, it's done it now. So it had me excited last night. Now I'm watching it a bit closer. I do have some walls of I'm not against it, but I'm making sure I'm not getting excited about it, is the way I put it. Next up, unless you've got any more to say on that.
No, I've got nothing.
Nice. Shagger Chappers, welcome in. Starting them tonight. The 40k app looks good. What I've forgotten what name it was called now. The secret level on Amazon. Nice. Are they all out now, or are they releasing them sporadically? Chappers, what are your thoughts? Did you see the Slow Clap football game rematch? What are your thoughts? As you tell us that, we'll jump into the next one, which is Solasta 2. Solasta 2, Crown of the Magister, is an enormous RPG, and now its sequel is being confirmed for an early access release in 2025, with a demo coming very soon. According to its new Game Awards trailer, set decades after the events of the first game, this sequel will take place in the high fantasy world of Neokos, where they'll roll dice using the D20 system to guide their party through all sorts of fantastical adventures. And wouldn't you know it, they've even got Baldur's Gate 3's narrator, Amelia Tyler, on board too. Does this speak to you, babe?
It does. I've never played the first one. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know it existed. But this definitely speaks to me a lot more than some of the games on this list so far.
This looks like a big game, to be fair. Let me mute that again. I did think, Chappers, looked interesting. I think there's much worse graphically football games that work very similar that are built on crummy engines that people really like. So I'm glad there's a better looking one that might just end up being fun time with friends. Yeah.
There's definitely room in the market for those, because don't forget, we had like Ultra Strikers, which wasn't a football game per se. It just had football mechanics built into an arena shooter. But there is definitely room in the market for those types of games. I just don't think I am that market at this moment in time.
Like, Slow Clap did good shit with Sifu, so they've definitely had to make a decent game. And there's definitely a gap in the market for that kind of football experience to be football light, but in an esports. And it doesn't even, when I say esports, I don't mean necessarily top competition, but just in a competitive game mode with your mates kind of thing. There's definitely a gap in the market. There always has been that gap in the market. No one's just made anything that can satisfy the itch that people wanted Rush to satisfy. So there's definitely something there. Whether it has the power to do it or not, we'll see. Speaking of having the power to do it, The Witcher 4 gets its big reveal. So this is, I imagine, one of the biggest things that they had in the entire show. So we'll jump into this one. Of course it is, because Sidney Goodman's done all the hard work, and now here's Jeff Keighley for The Witcher 4. Of course, there he is. So if the tub didn't give it away, the white braid certainly did. The Witcher 4 looks absolutely gorgeous in this, albeit cinematic reveal. Actually, we're going to skip forward a little bit because we don't want Jeff Keighley on screen, and it's a 6.5-minute video, which we're not going to watch all. Okay, The Witcher 4 looks absolutely gorgeous in this, albeit cinematic reveal, and a grown-up Ciri sure is a dab hand with that sword and magic fire chain, isn't she? Yes, please, and thank you, CD Projekt Red. Tech heads will no doubt have clocked that the trailer was put together on an unannounced NVIDIA RTX GPU as well. Time to upgrade your rig for this? Question mark. Almost certainly. Luckily, there's no release date yet, so hopefully we'll have plenty of time to save up. Do we need to say anything about this? Like we're not going to watch the full 6.5-minute trailer. Have you watched this yet?
No. I'm watching it as we're talking about it. I've had to skip forward a little bit just to try and get to the meat of the trailer. But yeah, we don't need to say Witcher is the Witcher. It's gonna be great. I've just it. I need to see more gameplay because I want to know if that's changed. I mean, this is obviously a cinematic trailer and stuff, so we don't know what the gameplay and everything's going to look like with it. Is it going to have a different movement system, a different combat system? I'm guessing that's what it's going to live and die by, right? But yeah, but again, for all intents and purposes, looks amazing. So yeah. I don't need to say much more on this until we see more of it. Yeah,
we'll revisit this when the time is right to revisit it. I mean, it's gonna command its own column inches anyway. The Witcher 3 is one of the best games of all time, depending on who you ask. A lot of people will probably say it's up there. So understandably, this has the same level of excitement, and it gives CD Projekt Red something massive to focus on. Obviously, we knew that they were working on Witcher games anyway. They'd announced that already, confirmed that they were coming, but now we're in this hype cycle. Let's hope this just doesn't last for 7 years like Cyberpunk did. Nice. Chapper says, we were watching the awards last night in a big group and everyone got excited when they saw it was Sifu, and then it cut to the shot of the football pitch and everyone immediately got confused except me, who enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
Why it would confuse people.
And also people that tend to watch video game awards, and this is very generalizing as well, is football fans aren't generally part of the video game community, and I think that's kind of double-sided. Like, video games community, there was a conversation we were having in the Discord a while back about, I think you were actually part of it, Chappers, that football games and sports games and shooter games are almost journalistically looked down upon. Like, it's just iterating the same shit every year, despite it being a huge part of society. Sports and games of that ilk are massive on social standing, let alone just pastimes and so on. So having those as successful video games is naturally been phenomenal. But when you put a FIFA and what it's done in the world of video games next to a Witcher, there's almost some sort of snobbery where the two can't be compared. And absolutely they can. 100% they can. So not saying that that's what your group were like, but I can see that happening though, like where there'll be a bunch of people going, "Ooh, Sifu, slow clap, this was great. We've got like martial arts and combat and stealth and an indie developer giving it," and then they see sport, it'll be like, "Oh, whatever, not bothered then. Fuck this shit. So I'm glad at least one of us was there to enjoy it, Chappers. Let's go, baby. Okay, we're now starting to see the good shit in this trailer. This is what you want, though, innit, from a CD Projekt Red and The Witcher. Swords, fog, darkness, multiple-limbed creatures, and aggression. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. We'll move ahead. That's 4:20 into it. Perfect time to stop. Elden Ring Night Rain takes the lands between to the realm of co-op. Okay, despite from... Oh, skipping... No, yep, we've got rid of Jeff. Goodbye. Despite From Software saying Elden Ring 2 wasn't in development mere weeks ago, it sure looks like the studio is making more Elden Ring, this time with multiplayer. But don't call it a sequel. Whatever you do, described as a standalone game by Jeff Keighley in his preamble, and then as a co-op action survival game after the trailer aired, this is Elden Ring Night Rain, and it's coming in 2025. Does this look like a bit of bib? What are your thoughts?
You know, it should do, but I've never played Elden Ring. I might have only played moments of any From Software game, if I'm being honest. So it doesn't necessarily speak to me. I should do, because it has all of the hallmarks for it to be a game that I would absolutely adore, and it probably surprises a lot of people that I haven't played it. Am I too much of a pussy because it's going to be well hard? Probably.
Maybe.
But yeah, it should do. It hasn't yet, is all I'm going to say on that.
Okay. It's not really a me game, so I will keep moving forward into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is heading to PC much sooner than you think. Let's hit a play on that one. So much for getting a PS5 Pro to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with fancier graphics again. It's coming to PC on January 23rd, 2025. That's like really soon. That's 1 month and 10 days, to be exact. Weeks away, in fact. What a treat. The trailer touts improved lighting, enhanced textures and modeling, as well as DLSS and VRR and more. And I'm sure Digital Foundry will be delivering their expert verdict on all of that stuff very soon. Have you played any Rebirth?
I haven't.
Are you a Final Fantasy guy?
I was definitely on the PlayStation 1 era, and definitely on the PlayStation 2 era, but I seem to have fallen. I've actually got a few of them behind me. There was one that came out on Xbox 360 that I really enjoyed, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been 11. But no, I'm not fighting on day release to go and play a new Final Fantasy game. Again, I haven't got time in my life for like a 120-hour RPG anymore. As much as I want to start them and get into them, again, it'll take me all year to finish it. So it's not something that's on my hit list of games to go and play. But again, for all intents and purposes, these Final Fantasy games that are being knocked out at this moment in time, if anyone even thought that a Final Fantasy franchise was coming to a halt 10 years ago, they never would have thought they'd be in a position now that they're in. It's like the series has just had a completely new lease of life by releasing the older games, which is very, very similar to what happened with the Resident Evil Capcom games. Yeah, a brand new lease of life by remaking the older games and making them a lot more modern. So, again, if that's what the people want, and it's put them back into the limelight and be in the forefront of the RPG world, I'm fairly certain that they're extremely happy with what they're doing over there.
I'm intrigued to see where they go. So we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is smashing it. Cleaned up almost everything, if not everything. It was nominated in at the Golden Joysticks. I don't know how it went on last night in the Game Awards, so we'll probably find that out in this article as we go towards the end. But we had Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 3 Remake and Resident Evil Village. I mean, I didn't play it. I watched you, so I lived vicariously through you. But from what I can assume from living on through you, Village wasn't at the same level as 2 and 3. So is this sort of that temporary but massively successful global cash-in on history, and we do it better when the story's already there, the characters already there, the resonation's already there? But then what's the next game? Final Fantasy 16, 17? Do we expect that to hit the same height? Are they in their pomp, or are they just hitting a one-time sure thing, or once every generation, decade, or whatever sure thing?
Well, I mean, a lot of people really, really enjoyed Village, as did I. I mean, it took me to play 2 or 3 playthroughs to properly get it, whereas I only needed one with Resident Evil 7 to go, this is a fucking masterpiece. Like, this is incredible. Probably one of the best first-person horror games that you're probably ever likely to play. And then around that, they ended up remaking 2 and 3. And obviously 4 has come out since, which is just back-to-back bangers. And then obviously we've obviously had 8, like you've alluded to there, was a hit and miss in some instances. I don't know with Final Fantasy and what Square are doing. Final Fantasy VII will always be the pinnacle of Square Enix and the Final Fantasy franchise, in my opinion. And the fact that they've gone back and remade that for a brand new audience, like, don't forget, it's been nearly 20 years since this game has been out. I
just need to jump in quickly because you were making a good point that's probably more important the point than I'm about to make. But Final Fantasy X and Blitzball is the pinnacle. But carry on.
Granted. I mean, probably Final Fantasy VII is probably closer to 25 years if I'm thinking about it now, because I'm genuinely forgetting what fucking year we're in.
It was like 97.
I'm gonna have to Google it now.
It was
like 97.
It was like 97. It was PS1 definitely. It was
definitely PS1.
It was about that sort of time.
Oh, Jesus Christ! 1997, the 31st of January.
Did I just smash it? Nailed on. Let's fucking go, baby.
You absolutely nailed it on. So
only just though,
for a
one
game
month
that
into
came
it.
out 25 years ago, in fact, it's closer to 30 years than it is 25. So they needed to bring a new lease of life to it, in my opinion, if they wanted to do it, because people are going to be nearly 30 that might not have even experienced this game when it first came out. I was 6 when this game first came out. So the fact that it probably has the best storyline throughout all of the Final Fantasy games and the characters that are still being put into different brawling games, they needed to, bring people up to speed with it, and they've absolutely smashed it. Let's be honest. Like there's people that again haven't played the original that are now playing the remakes of these games, and this is their first introduction into a Final Fantasy game. Chances are, if it is their first game, they're probably going to go and play the MMO, which again is absolutely smashing it in the MMO world, which is making money hand over fist to Square. So one thing leads to another in the video games industry, and if you have an online multiplayer game and a single player game, and then you move people from one to another, you've got an ever-flowing cash flow coming into the company. Releasing DLCs or whatever it is that's going to be, or getting them on board in the first place is obviously the hardest point of it. So yeah, the fact that they're bringing this over to the PC players as well is just another group of people that might not have ever played it before, that only play on PC, now have the option to be able to do it. Yeah, Square are making all the right decisions at the right time, I think.
I mean, GG to them as well, because Square, like you say, similar to sort of it was kind of Japanese games in general, the Capcoms and the Konamis and so on, as well as Square, global powerhouses that over the last 10, 15 years kind of maybe hadn't been where they had been previously, and are now all vertically trajectorying back up using the strength of their old IP. So, yeah, I'd like to see it.
They're doing it well.
Question, though, you said video games, one thing leads to another. What led then to Catley being a strange photorealistic cat game? What is this? So I'll leave the trailer going for this. So move over, Stray. This photorealistic fantasy cat adventure is here to steal your milk. The thing that really bemuses me about this is that it's coming to PC, Apple Watches, and Nintendo Switch, of all places. And I'm pretty sure one of those platforms will be able to do its fluffy furballs justice on the graphics front. I'm pretty sure only one of those platforms, should I say, is what it says. Still, no release date yet, but more info is promised next year. Okay.
The fact that you play it on your Apple Watch makes me think that this is maybe some form of Tamagotchi that you're then able to play on your console as well. Like, it looks awful, in my opinion. This is not a game that is going to interest me in the slightest, but it 100% will. My nephew, who's obsessed with cats, he would absolutely love to play this.
Yeah, meow. I mean, that's not me doing a cat noise. Meow, meow, meow. That was me going, meow. I mean, it looks cool, but it looks like some sort of like advert for an insurance company, like one of these cats, like, and then all of a sudden it's like LV Insurance, be your fluffy self, or some shit like that sort of stuff. So okay, fine, let's go ahead.
Are you on your 8th life? Would you like to visit your 9th?
Sticking Rika, good morning still. Nice. I've not seen a game so far that I'm like, I have to play it. I think the closest that I get for that is The Witcher 4 so far. And I don't feel like I have to play it because I still have The Witcher 3 and I want to play that, so I won't ever play that until I've been through The Witcher 3. So, and I probably do I need to play The Witcher 2 and 1 first? I don't fucking know. So yeah, I see that. Champa said that cat game looked like AI Pish. If it's Tamagotchi, I'd be more in. Yeah, it's just like, what? Okay, thanks, mate. Project Robot is the next game from Ico creator Fumita Ueda. Core, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it, Fumita Ueda? Here's our next early glimpse of the next game from Gen Design, the maker of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. It's just a teeny look, admittedly, showing a young boy climbing up a large robot and then taking off inside its head, as we see the body being overtaken by a nasty looking shockwave of some kind. It's currently untitled, but the eagle-eyed among you will have spotted Project Robot as a code name in the credit screen. Consider my curiosity piqued. Okay, enough of you, Jeff. Shut up, man. Fucking 30-40 seconds of him waffling on a fucking... Just get into it. Okay, Epic Games Publishing presents the skip. Skip, 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 skip. It looks like a mask that's in PUBG. Do you know it's got Death Stranding sort of vibes to me. Oh, here comes the shockwave. 20 seconds. Let's skip forward a bit. Go on, rip off the spine. Interesting. Don't really know what I'm looking at. Looks cool, though. Okay, we'll move ahead. The Outer Worlds 2 gets a new trailer and a 2025 release window. Can you sense Obsidian is maybe just a teeny bit aware of the shortcomings of the first Outer Worlds? In this new trailer, it boasts, quote, more action, more weapons, and more graphics? Question mark, with a bemused eyebrow raise. But hey, it looks to be shaping up quite nicely, if you ask me. And we got a release year 2. It's coming in 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, Game Pass, PC, and curiously, PS5. No word yet if that PS5 release will be delayed like Indiana Jones, but watch this space. Is that Xbox making games for good consoles? Whoa.
Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Part 2.
Okay, a little bit of a watch on this.
Part 2.
Neverwinter Nights, Part 2.
And Fallout 3.
Part
2. New
that was okay. Funny, nice.
A completely original Part 2. And like all good sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more graphics.
Do you know what? Quality trailer. Very good scripting.
3 times longer to make, but will almost certainly be 2 times bigger.
Does this make you want to play it?
Yeah, I mean, I never played the Outer Worlds. Like, it's free on something at the moment, maybe Prime or something. So I've just got it. I never played it, but I heard it was decent. But I love a trailer like this. Creative writing, good acting, decent content. Yeah. Okay, this looks good.
Try not to break it.
Apart from hearing that siren noise there, which is in PUBG. Getting flashbacks.
Worlds 2.
Interesting. Thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, it's obviously up my street. I just had to do a little bit of Googling with it though, because the way it's been written there is like it's been panned, which I didn't see a lot of. I heard that people didn't find it as good as the games that the studios have worked on previously. But it does actually look like a tide had turned with it. Like people had started to hate on it a lot more than I actually thought. So I don't know where this one will sit then. Like the guy, obviously the narrator was saying like it took 3 times as long to create, but obviously the map's only going to be two times as big. Like just trying to add some humor into it, maybe as a callback to what people have been saying, rather than it just being a marketing shtick.
I mean,
I'm very interested to see what this is going to be like, though.
Some of it seems like it's self-aware, and some of it seems like it's self-aware to the next degree, like over the top, like melodramatic comedy almost. So, yeah, I saw this being. It was a game that was loved, but was it could have been better. But I would agree with you. I wouldn't have seen that it was like it was dog shit. So yeah, like Chopper said, compared to the highs of Knights of the Old Republic 2 in New Vegas, it was a drop off, that first Outer Worlds. But I think that was the thing. Like from the responses that I saw, it wasn't New Vegas, but most Fallout, well, all Fallout games aren't New Vegas. If you speak to most Fallout fans, I don't know. I've not played them, so I don't know. But there was still a lot of love for it, but it's good that they've seen that, and it's quite it builds your confidence in them if they're laughing at how air quotes bad it was, and now they're saying it's not. That's got to give you some belief in their ability to. If they're laughing at themselves and going, "Yeah, we did fuck up," but watch this. It's almost like hold my beer sort of comments, and you're like, "Okay, something good or something fucking catastrophic is going to happen right now." So, yeah. I didn't enjoy Outer Worlds very much. Didn't think it was worth the hate or anything, but it was quite an empty husk, says Chappers. That Project Sentry looks like a Sekiro combat-style game of Yakuza from their devs. Colour me intrigued. Okay, next up, Split Fiction is the next game from It Takes Two Studio. So this one, I didn't know was coming in until I saw a tweet from the Game Awards like the other day or something. And this guy on stage, I assume, is Joseph Fares, who is the guy that owns Hazelight, which is the studio that made It Takes Two and A Way Out. It Takes Two, I believe, is better. I haven't played it yet. A Way Out is fecking amazing. I know from direction and narrative style and what it is, having prison inmates versus like a family sort of thing, on paper, A Way Out is more my style of game. But even people that I know that say the same thing have say It Takes Two is better. So, big fan of Joseph Fares and his work and what he's done. We'll probably be playing It Takes Two this Christmas while we're off. So I'm excited to see a little bit more on this. It's 4 minutes long, so we're probably not going to watch it all, but I'll mute it as it's on. So from the studio behind It Takes Two comes another co-op action adventure. This time, you take control of two writers who get trapped in a simulation of their respective fantasy and sci-fi novels. Just like It Takes Two, each character will have their own special weapons and items that evolve over time and complement each other when it comes to solving puzzles. Dragons with different abilities, for example, or special exosuits that let you morph ball around. It's coming in quite soon too, in March 2025.
Split Fiction. Let me tell you this. Get ready for a ride. You play as Mio and Zoe, two aspiring riders that hope.
The only thing I don't like about Joseph Fares is the fact that he had character, and when they brought him on stage, like for A Way Out, an EA event or something, he swore, and everyone was like, and it was like hype swear, like this is fucking good or something like that, and everyone was like, so he just swore in this trailer, and he was like, you're gonna get fucking hyped or whatever it was like that, but they bleeped out the fucking. It's like, if it's a pre-scripted, pre-recorded trailer that you're gonna bleep the word out, then don't put it in, because you putting in scripted banter, scripted humor. Get rid of it. It was good because it was good, not because you've scripted it and made him put it in. Okay, excited for this. This one is up there with one of the ones that I'm most excited about then. But even without seeing it, from what I've played from Hazelight and Joseph Fares' team, then I'd have always been excited about this. But it looks like A Way Out evolved in It Takes Two, and it's massively evolved again with Split Fiction. So, cool. Nice. Okay, next
like a
up,
massive game.
It does. There's so much to it, like top-down sort of stuff, like fucking dungeon crawlery sort of stuff. Now we're in some sort of How to Train Your Dragon sort of stuff. Yeah, looks massive. Okay, excited. Spike! They robbed what ice cream really is. This is all simulation and Bibby. And Bibby and Graham are the main characters. Maybe that's it. Whoa. Nice. How you doing, Spike, mate? Okay, next up, Steel Hunters is Apex meets Mechs from World of Tanks Studio. So the latest game from World of Tanks Studio, Wargaming, Steel Hunters is an enormous mech fest with lots of robots and big explosions. Think Apex Legends, but everyone is in giant mech suit, and that's pretty much Steel Hunters in a nutshell. You'll play as one of 7 units in teams of 2, and you'll be stomping and flying around lush green worlds, which presumably will be a muddy shade of brown by the time you're done with it. If you'd like to try this free-to-play shooter for yourself, a 10-day beta will begin on PC later this evening. So I assume that was last night. I don't actually know the point of this being pushed, but thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if this is my kind of vibe. It looks good. I think this is probably one that I'd enjoy watching people who have a much higher skill in these games than I do. I think I just end up dying constantly. But it looks good. It looks good.
A game like Apex with big mechs. If only that had been done before Titanfall. Titanfall. Like, it just kind of shows you that the Titanfall fans of the world, and shout out to Ben Ward Winstano from the NGB posse, have been crying out for a Titanfall game for a while. And it's been that long that another developer has gone, do you know what, fuck it, we'll do it. So, yeah, very, very similar. I wasn't a big fan of Titanfall, I must admit. I prefer boots on the ground shooters. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of exosuits. I'm not a fan of wall running. I'm not a fan of, like, all of that jazz. Unless I'm going for something specifically character-driven, like a Star Wars Battlefront, where you've got your EMP grenades and things like that. Like, yeah, then thermal detonators, that sort of stuff, then yeah, fair enough. But this looks cool. Probably isn't for me, but I would watch someone play it to see if it is. It could be for me. When I say probably, this one, there is an element where I go, okay, this looks cool. I want to try this. So, yeah. Next up, The Long Dark 2 Black Frost. Let me mute Jeff. The sequel to The Long Dark is coming to early access in 2026. It looks to be very much more of the same chilly survival fare as the first game from the looks of the reveal trailer, but I'm sure there will be nuances aplenty to dig into once more details start to emerge closer to release. Did you play The Long Dark at all?
I didn't.
Have you heard of The Long Dark before?
Yes.
I haven't. This is completely past. Oh, no, maybe I have. Now looking at this dude. But then again, this could be just one of those, like, quirky, like, not Aardman animations, but, like, there was a Pirates film and then other stuff of that ilk kind of thing. It could be. So it looks kind of cool, though. What is the actual game like? I don't know what the game.
I'm sure it's a side scroller. A long dark.
Live together, die alone. Cheeto says he loved Titanfall. Just the ability to climb on top of a Titan and drop a grenade and take it down was so satisfying. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Once you've done that, does it still tickle the pickle? I mean, if anyone's pickle needs tickling, it's Tito's. He is the pickle.
I'm talking shit. It's basically like DayZ.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm thinking of a different game.
So an artistic. Well, there we go. Talk show says, "Welcome in, dude. First-person survival." So it's stylized DayZ. This bit here I've just skipped past it. Where helping him up the wall. This bit here reminds me of The Day After Tomorrow, where they break into like Central Library in New York and start setting things on fire or something like that. That's what this bit looks like. But anyway, it looks pretty cool. I actually quite like the look of this. It's not one of the ones that I'd put at the top, but I do actually like the look of this. Okay, moving ahead. Borderlands 4 gets its first gameplay trailer. So after a very brief tease, this is our first proper look at Borderlands 4, and yep, it sure looks like more Borderlands, if you ask me, with a brand new creepy threat in tow too. We get to see all 4 of the main characters in action, as well as fountains of multicolored loot. Oh, what fun! It's coming in 2025. Thoughts, babe?
More Borderlands makes me be very happy.
Still never played a Borderlands game, so kind of comment. It looks pretty cool though.
So, you know what? It does. It bothers me that you haven't played one because I know how much you'd fucking love this game.
It's just one of those games that I missed and then have never caught up on it. It's not that I've never wanted to. It's just one of those sort of series.
Yeah. Big up Fontaine's DC in the trailer song. Starburster, absolute banger.
Got the first sealed on PS4. Want to buy it? What, to open it and then take all the value away? God damn it. We had Hawk and Armored Core Steel Battalion before Titanfall. Cough, cough. Yeah, all not for me either. No. Baby's shacking out over here.
It's an absolute banger of a tune, that. I love it.
In that case, I'll turn it down for the copyrights.
Yeah, it's a real song.
Enough of that, claptrap. Banter. Okay, Borderlands 4 world premiere, shown last night. Obviously going to be a banger. We'll come back to that just as we will with The Witcher 4, because no doubt it will take many, many months of headlines before we actually get to play on it. Anyway, next up, Final Fantasy 16 and Tekken 8 go head-to-head. Interesting. So Clive is coming to Tekken 8 on December 16th. Didn't you know? For a moment there, I thought Square Enix just announced a Final Fantasy 16 sequel, but alas, just a crossover. Still, I like how Phoenix is duking it out with Kazuma's big dragon lad in the background. Gotta love that attention to detail. So yeah, is this Tekken dude's... No, Clive from Final Fantasy is coming to Tekken. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had it mixed up the wrong way around. I miss playing Tekken. I was looking at some the other day. It was the 30th anniversary of Tekken or something like that, and PlayStation showed like to honor the history of Tekken. Here's the Mishima clan just lobbing other Mishima clan members off mountains as they have done continuously for 30 years, just like wee 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 sort of shit. And I miss like playing through Tekken 1, 2, and 3. I put so many hours into those games. Can we recap everything I missed, please? Yes, it's called Rewind Mid. Next up, so from one fighter to another, Virtua Fighter returns from the makers of Like a Dragon. Interesting. Just when you thought RGG was already up to its eyeballs with Like a Dragon games, here they are with a Virtua Fighter revival. Crumbs. More details coming in a special broadcast. This isn't Virtua Fighter. That bird on screen has more than 3 polygons. That's what I always think of when I think of Virtua Fighter, is just like 3 boxes stacked on top of each other for a leg, and then the same on the other side, and the same for an arm, and then the torso and the head kind of thing. Still fun, though, back in the day. Good graphics. Puddle, water. Question then, because we don't know anything about this and we're not going to find out in this. Is there a place for Virtua Fighter in the market when we've got Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken already? Is there a place for Virtua Fighter to come back without that 30 years of legacy that Mortal Kombat and Co. have?
I think so, if they're using characters in the game, maybe from other IPs.
What, do
Very
a
much like
Fortnite?
Mortal Kombat. I think, well, I don't know, because Mortal Kombat have been doing it for years, haven't they? Where they've just been taking, like, if they was just going to have the core fighters, I think that might have got boring quickly. So the bringing in people like Ghostface, Terminator, what was the other one that got really Conan, obviously earlier this week.
Yeah.
Like, bringing those characters into the game, breathe a new lease of life into the franchise. I agree with you. Does it have a future? Maybe. I think depending on the direction that they end up going with this. Like if they end up having the Yakuza, some of the Yakuza characters in there as well, that might end up spicing it up a little bit. But forget Virtual Fighter. I want a fucking Virtual Soccer.
Yes, Sean Connery. Give it a shocker.
Striker. They were phenomenal games in the arcade. I think I'd probably be more interested in that than a Virtua Fighter, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, like, whilst Mortal Kombat does have the Terminator and Predator and everything else dropping into it, they stand alongside Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Cyrax, Goro, and all the rest like that. And then you jump over to Tekken's and you've got your Eddie Gordos and your Yoshimitsu's and your King and your Brian Furies and so on. And then, like, does Virtua Fighter have that? I remember playing it, but I don't remember any of the characters from it, like, in that sort of sense. It was just, I remember maybe a dude with a white t-shirt or vest and blue jeans and yellow hair that was almost Guile-esque from Street Fighter. And there you go, Street Fighter, Guile, Ryu, Ken, or Ryu as it should be pronounced, but Ryu to me, Ken, Blanca, Yonda, Dalsim, and Bison, and so on. Don't know that for Virtua Fighter. So if Street Fighter gets someone and drops them in the game, like Clive from Final Fantasy, he sits alongside Kazuya, like Jin Kazuya or Devil Kazuya or Panda or whatever, just like that happens in Mortal Kombat. What would they stand next to in Virtua Fighter? So
yeah, I feel again, I'm probably not going to be right with this. So please bear with me. But I feel like Virtua Fighter was definitely one of those games that its heyday was either in the arcade or on like a Sega Dreamcast or something like that. Like, I don't know many people who had Virtua Fighter on their home consoles. I imagine it probably came out for a lot of home consoles, but I just think comparing it to things like Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat, those type of games that did extremely well from the arcades and transitioned extremely well over to home consoles, I don't think Virtua Fighter potentially had that look. And it was one of it was a game that was glued to, like you say, Sega Dreamcast and things like that. I just don't believe that it had the staying power that obviously those other two that I mentioned had for transitioning from arcade to home console. Because nowadays, as much as I hate it, we don't have arcades anymore, do we? We don't. You can't just go to your local arcades at the bottom of the road. Like, our closest one that would be worth any kind of attention is obviously Arcade Club, and they have two of those, one in Blackpool, one in Bury. And then you have things like NQ64, which are trying to replicate that, but trying to have it as like a drinking hole at the same time.
Social environment rather than just games and so on. The thing is, though, is like those video game arcades fed things like Virtua Fighter in the arcade, but I can't remember what program it was. Is it High Score, which was the Netflix games documentary that shows you like games that have been breakout successes, and within that there's one that talks about fighting games, and you get the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat games being in there. I don't think it did mention Tekken, but that was a little bit later on because that was the PlayStation 1 era rather than the SNES sort of Mega Drives and so on like that era. But Tekken was like that evolving, whereas Virtua Fighter didn't evolve. Talk Shows Unmuted says it was ported to PS as well, but just didn't have the same sort of cut through. So it's nice to see that they're leaning into it, and I hope they have plans for it, because I feel like it needs to do something different. On the end slate, they were celebrating the 30th anniversary of Virtua Fighter, so it's got legacy in terms of time served as a brand, but it's not got legacy in terms of audience served throughout that time frame. So yeah, I hope they've got good plans for how they do that, or they don't have mega plans on what they expect it to be, because whilst it's got 30 years, it doesn't have 30 years of legacy, and that's the only thing with it. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that one and move on to the next one. Project Century is also being made by the Like a Dragon devs RGG Studio. So crikey, RGG talk about making everyone look bad by announcing two games at once. Unclear right now whether Project Century has anything to do with Like a Dragon, but whatever it is, it sure looks like it will be playing it in similar territory. It's 1915 Japan, and fisticuffs are aplenty. Sign me the heck up, lads. Why have we changed to Like a Dragon? Like, and they dropped the Yakuza series. Is that like, is there a stigma with the word Yakuza? I know obviously it's like the mafia and stuff like that, but we still call the mafia games mafia. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I've never really been a fan of the Yakuza games anyway. That's purely because I haven't played them. It's not because I don't like the art style or anything like that. But this Project Century actually looks really good.
It does, yeah. I'm watching it now. Like
this could be the one for me.
This is like very good quality build, good environments. That sort of Sifu-esque movie-like gameplay. Oh, I just pulled someone's fucking insides out. What? Yeah, this looks cool. This looks very cool. I've got Like a Dragon Infinite as well. I wonder if I can play that one on the Steam Deck. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that and we'll move forward as Turok Origins emerges from the mist. Interesting. New from Saber and featuring lots of dinos, Turok is back. I last played Turok on the N64, where the frame rate was so low and the draw distance so near that I almost always got munched by said dinos within seconds of trying to play it. Luckily, Turok Origins doesn't look to be plagued by any of those issues whatsoever, with lots of silky smooth frame rates and powerful weaponry to take down those clever dinos. Yes, please, mates. Turok was fun back in the day. I was never a big Turok fan, though. I was always kind of like... It's not quite Jurassic Park, and it's not quite shooters. It's kind of somewhere between the two, but I do like the idea of it coming back. Just give me Dino Crisis and I'll be happy.
Yeah, very much so.
Moving ahead, Warframe 1999 gets its final trailer and release date. So Warframe 1999 world premiere trailer for the Gearboards. Okay, the Warframe alpha that has now been... The Warframe alpha that has now been...
I think they fucked that.
Okay, I'm just going to say the Warframe alpha has now been turned into a full game all these years later. Yeah, okay. Featuring snowy streets, fantastical baddies to shoot, and a very large cat friend or four, Warframe has somehow never looked better, and you won't have to wait long to check it out as it's launching tomorrow, December 14th. Interesting. I've never played Warframe. No.
It was brilliant. That was one of the first games I ever played on PS4. It was one of the free downloads from the store when the PS4 first came out. It was amazing. And I haven't played it for a long time, and I didn't know that it's only just coming out as a full game.
I've just seen a tweet coming in.
Had a lot of collaborations over the years as well.
Just seen a tweet coming from Ravi, and I bet I know what it's about. Yeah, there we go. Ravi tagging Shogun, Ash, we've got Babinho, and Graham Day. We've got to get this on this as a team when it comes out. He's talking about rematch from Slow Clap. Go on then. Go on then. Okay, we'll move on from Warframe. Pal World is getting another update. So a big burly man fights and partners up with a big burly bear lion creature. Where have I heard that before? Well, despite its ongoing legal battles with the Pokemon Company, Pal World is getting another update called Faybreak on December 23rd. What a fun/tedious Christmas present for those still playing. Why is it tedious? Like, of all the things that's been in this, everything's like, yes, please, mates, let's go, mates, yes, let's... And then suddenly, Pal World, which has been one of the biggest success stories of the year, even if you factor in the legal cases, why are we on tedious for it? It's got updates. What? Okay.
Must be a huge Pokemon fan.
Yeah, seems like it. Or paid by Nintendo. Nice. Okay, next up, Onimusha, Way of the Sword is coming. Actually, are you interested in more Pal World before we move on?
I'm always up for more Pal World. I was genuinely thinking of playing more of it over the Christmas break.
Yeah, same.
It's been a hot minute since I've dropped back into it. So this new map that's coming, yeah, that does interest me. The
visual fidelity, is it just because we were playing it on Xbox? Because it looks so much better on this.
It looked so much better when people were playing it on PC. It genuinely looked so much better. It felt like we was... did they say something like we was 2 updates behind on Xbox than there was on Steam?
Yeah.
So we was always playing an inferior version of what I was watching people play on Steam. So that doesn't surprise me.
Interesting. And am I right in that it's got cross progression from PC to Steam Deck as well? Like, you're still playing your Steam version or something?
Yeah, you're just booting in for your Steam account. Yeah, so you're good to go, really.
Oof. Okay. Okay. Oof. Viv, Pal World, I thought that was just Newcastle. You all right there, pal? Get out, Viv. Yes, go on. Take him away. Onimusha Way of the Sword is coming in 2026. Heck yeah, Capcom. Onimusha is back. Only a very brief cinematic reveal trailer for this one, sadly, but core. What a sword slicing. What monsters? 2026 cannot come soon enough. Are you an Onimusha player?
I'm going to be honest, Graham. I think I've only played the first one. And I think that was on PlayStation 1. It could have been on PlayStation 2. But that just shows that I haven't played one in at least 20 years.
If you're into your slice and dice slashy action, keep your eyes out for Onimusha Way of the Sword. It doesn't come for over a year that year, so you've got a bit of a wait. So more news will be inbound. Unlike this one, the first Berserker Kazan, which arrives in March 2025. Yet another Cinematic Game Awards trailer for Dark Fantasy RPG, the first Berserker Kazan, that shows nothing of its actual gameplay. But this time with the release date. If you can't wait for Onimusha to break cover, this will fill the gap as it's launching in March 27th. Yeah, 2025. Yeah, I'm thinking like, it was the year after. But so we still don't have gameplay of it, but we have a cinematic and it comes out in just over 3 months.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's worrying or not, but the cinematic looks amazing.
Two minutes 40. I'm going to start skipping through. Obviously, we can drop the link to the article if you do want to watch all of these trailers in situ. These are all taken from the Game Awards last night. So you can just watch the full broadcast. It will be about 76 hours long, and 75 hours of that will be Jeff Keighley, and 1 hour will be the trailers. But you can go and watch it if you want. Yeah, graphics are badass. Even at this dodge quality. We're watching it at 360p? What the fuck? I think it's 1080. Yeah, this looks badass. But it's a cinematic, so that's what you expect. A cinematic from a high-budget game looks great. Who knew? Okay, we'll move ahead. That does look good, but we'll wait till we get some more gameplay. Dying Light the Beast gets a release window. Hit play. First unveiled at Gamescom back in August. You'll probably remember that Dying Light the Beast is a standalone Dying Light adventure that lets you play as angry man Kyle Crane, who, yep, you guessed it, has beast-like abilities. Now, we know when it's coming out, well, sort of, so mark your calendars for summer 2025. I mean, more Dying Light content should be a good thing, right?
I'm not a fan of Dying Light. As much as I would like to be, I'm not. I've tried it a few times to try and get on board with it, and I'm not. I don't. It doesn't resonate with me, and I honestly couldn't tell you why.
Interesting. Which is, so the reason I say interesting, for anyone that knows us personally, Bibby usually plays anything and everything, and our colleague / boss man, Mr. Bamba, plays very little. And what he does play is usually very niche, or it has to be the best of the best or something. And Mark, aka Mr. Bamba, likes the Dying Light games, and Bibby doesn't. And these are zombie games. Mm-hmm. So Bibby not liking zombie games and Mark liking them. What is this?
Yeah. Listen, it baffles me as much as the next person why I don't get on with it. I mean, I was the same with Dead Island though. Like, I played the Dead Island when it first came out, and I really didn't get on with it. And then, like, for some reason, 2 years later, I thought I'll give it another go, and now I absolutely adore it. So I don't know, give it another 10 years, and I might go back to it and actually enjoy it.
Post Bibby just shitting all over Dying Light. The scoop is so back. Let's go, baby. OP3. Welcome in, Precision. Hey, mate. I just want your view on the new Naughty Dog trailer, but that was one of the last ones. We're almost there. Spike says so many games, and I'm like, I don't have the time. Yeah, there is an incredible amount of games. Bibby's saying he's not a fan of Dying Light, but be interested to hear about this one, because he is a fan of Overcooked, and Stage Fright is the new game from the maker of Overcooked. What's that, Joseph Fares? Is that the sound of Stage Fright eating Split Fiction's lunch? From the maker of Overcooked, this new co-op adventure looks an absolute delight, with some rather lovely British voiceover work in there too. We only got a very small look at the kind of split-screen antics we'll be getting up to, but I'm well and truly here for it. Interesting. I did wonder how long it would take someone else to go for that Haze-like sort of Joseph Fares split-screen co-op action, because obviously Overcooked is some of the best co-op sort of gameplay available. If you want to test your relationship, try it 100%. So having are we going to? Why are we including Jeff Keighley in the actual fucking trailery bit? Get the fuck. We're on stage and shit.
This would never have happened.
Interesting. So, okay, now question then. We still don't really know much about it. Overcooked, great. What Hazelight Studio does with A Way Out, It Takes Two, great. Do we feel that Overcooked's teams can do a good job of what the other team does? Thoughts?
Do you know what? I don't think I'd have been on board with Overcooked without playing it myself. Like, those type of games, it's like Among Us. I'm still not on board with that. But unless I'm actually playing it for myself, that's when I think I might enjoy these types of games. So when I'm watching trailers and things, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. And then I get a hold of it and I play it and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking dynamite.
You know
I
what?
feel like this is definitely that might be one of these things.
That might be the most truest thing that's ever been said, because I sat in the office watching Bibby play Overcooked when it was free on PS Plus or something. I was like, do you want to go? I was like, Most of the time when Bibby asks me to play games in the office, I'm usually a no anyway, because I like hours to commit to games. I don't like to pick up and play. Most of the time, I won't have a go on something because I'll want to play 2 or 3 games minimum. So in the office, I usually got shit to do, so I go, no. But anyway, whatever it was, this Overcooked, I was like, yeah, go on then. And I was like, it's not going to be for me. It looks cartoonish shit. Not bothered. It's crap. Fuck this. Blah, 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 blah. Instantly changed. It was like, oh, nice, pass me some bread. This is fun. Okay, this is quirky shit. Yeah, this is nice. It's not too bad. And then 30 seconds later, it was fucking, it went from Bibby, pass me some bread to, where the fuck are the beef? It just consumes everything in your mind, but not everything in your mind. It splits your mind into 4 and then consumes all of them separately. 25% of your mind is like, we must chop the lettuce. The other 25% is like, Bibby's going to pass me some bread. The other 25% is, okay, we need to fucking tenderize some beef or whatever. And then the other 25% is, why hasn't Bibby fried this beef off yet? Fuck! And amazing. Genuinely,
It's so good.
Not a me game, is what I thought. And then I played it. It's very much a me game. So, yeah, this could be good. Next up, Game of Thrones King's Road is stuffed with proper TV actors. Well, here's the thing. Netmarble is making a new Game of Thrones game featuring all of your favourite actors from HBO's TV show, including your man Jon Snow, Kit Harington. Well, everyone apart from one Game of Thrones character, as it looks like you'll be playing an infinitely more generic Northman who could literally be any gruff Hulk fantasy man. Still, an intriguing proposition for Game of Thrones fans coming in 2025. I don't understand, like, what the issue is with, like, I see this all the time. You'll be playing an incredibly generic Northman. Isn't that kind of what you want, though, for this sort of game?
You don't want to be taking hold of one of the characters in the TV series. I mean, a lot of people might do. But I'd much rather be in a world with those in it rather than playing that particular person.
100%. You don't want to be Varys here and have to do, like, his accent badly or something, or choose which lines you think he... Because the beauty is he gives you his delivery. You just want to be a part of the spectacle. So choosing a generic character in the background, I want that. I want... If not, I'll just play any other longbow, longsword, short shield, fucking gameplay sort of stuff. Job's a good one. So no, I want to be Samwell Tarly doing belly roll attacks.
Hey, leave Samwell Tarly alone. What a fucking guy. But this probably has the potential, out of all of the games that we've seen, that this will be the front room game. This is the one where Samantha goes, get the pad out, and we both end up doing this. Doing this game together. Like, she loves Game of Thrones, so it took her forever to get around to it, but we're there, and this looks amazing.
It looks good.
This is very much a Bibby game.
What was going to say? Slight tangent. Have you seen Three Body Problem on Netflix?
I have not.
It's a sciencey
Never even heard of it.
Series. It was quite successful, quite big. But it has Samwell Tarly in it from Game of Thrones. Obviously, a Mank. And I'm pretty sure I've got this the right way around.
As well,
yeah, there we are. I guess that's it. So I'm pretty sure I've got this the right way around. He's a very big United fan. So in the series, the directors made his character be a very big Man City fan. Absolute banter.
They did that with they did that on Phoenix Nights with what's it called? Justin Morehouse. He's a massive United fan. And Peter Kay thought it'd be funny to write him in as a City fan, so that's why you always see him with City shirts on throughout the series.
Fuckers. I mean, I'd do the exact same thing. Okay, next up, Game of Thrones. It looks good. I quite like the look of that. Next up, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming to PC. Surprising no one. Do you know what? I'm going to skip past this then. a big game, mega successful. It's going to PC. We've pretty much had this conversation before, so we'll come past it. We're both very much open to the idea of The Last of Us Part 2 and remastered. Job's good. Nice. Okay, job's good. Sonic Team Racing Cross Worlds is coming soon. The teeniest of tiny teasers, Sonic Team Racing is back, featuring Shadow the Hedgehog at the very least of all Sonic's menagerie of mates. Will it finally answer the question of why gotta go fast hedgehogs need 4 wheels to go less fast? Only time will tell. I've never thought of that. But touche. Yes, nice one. Fuck you, ruined my thought concept. This game can get in the bin. Why? What's the point, mate? Yeah. No, we're not going to talk about this because Bibby has an unnatural ability to just be good at races, so fuck that shit. Next up,
what are we talking about?
Mafia. The Old Country is coming summer 2025. Tensions are high for the new Mafia trail, The Old Country, which are only likely to get even hotter as it gears up for its just announced release window of summer 2025. Core, next summer is going to be pretty stacked at this rate, isn't it? It sounds like it. But thoughts on Mafia Old Country, babe?
Yeah, well in for this. Well in. I'm sure I've talked about this on episodes of the script previously, but I've actually gone back to try and complete all of the Mafia games now. Done the first one, nearly finished the second one. I'm like, I stopped playing the third one halfway through, so I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to start that from the beginning and carry on again. But I do love the Mafia games. I've loved them since the PS2 era. I can't wait to obviously play this one. This looks like a time period which I'm very in favour of.
Nice. Next up, Dispatch is a superhero game from former Telltale devs. Hit play. Featuring the voices of Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey, Dispatch is an animated superhero game where you must, dispatch heroes to fight crimes around the city. Curiously, the trailer says it's from the studio behind The Wolf Among Us and Tales from the Borderlands, but before you go gooey-eyed about Telltale, the studio behind this one is Ad Hoc. No release date yet, but consider me quietly intrigued by this one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting art style. It's kind of like a 2D/3D merged art style, almost Spider-Verse-esque. Well, is it Across the Spider-Verse, the second one, where you've got like the 2D characters and 3D characters and CGI characters all living in the same space? Do we get some gameplay? Interesting. So big talent, looks good. This could be this could be a little bit of a dark horse, this one.
That's what he sounds like.
Interesting.
It's got Aaron Paul in it. I've got a big fan of him.
Yeah. Okay, Capcom and Kamiya unite for Okami sequel. Oh, heck yes. Capcom and Kamiya, you absolute beauties. I don't rightly care that this was the most hilariously bare bones announcement of the entire show. It's been too damn long, and yes, Clover is seemingly back in business too, as Clovers. Get it? I imagine this is still several years out at the moment, but call, let's watch that trailer again around 400 times, shall we? I'm going to quick skip because it says it's bare bones. Yeah, it doesn't really say much. So there's a sequel coming to Okami. Nice. Okay, Naughty Dog's next game. So this is the big one then, like the big finish. So Naughty Dog of The Last of Us and Uncharted fame have the next big thing. This is something that has been kind of teased a little bit over the last few weeks, that Naughty Dog could announce something. I wasn't sure whether it was just like talking heads bullshit that you always get before stuff, the clickbait. Could this be the big thing from Naughty Dog at the Game Awards? It turns out it was. But, okay, well, there you have it, Naughty Dog heads. The next game from director Neil Druckmann is something quite a bit different from what's come before, featuring a bounty hunter in space who also has a rad laser sword to take down huge beasties. It looks pretty cool as cinematic trailers go, at least, but hey, you can't fault the trailer with the Pet Shop Boys. Let's take a look one more time. Okay, the suffering of generations must be endured to achieve our divine end. Okay, 4.5 minutes, so I am going to start skipping through this. Game looks beautiful, as you'd expect, being a Naughty Dog game.
I don't know why, but I mean, I think it's probably abundant why. It's giving me so many Guardians of the Galaxy vibes.
See, I got like from the reds and stuff in space and the ship and so on. Definitely got that. When we got in and saw, I'm assuming that this is the protagonist shaving her head over the sink. I've got like alien sort of vibes, not from the atmosphere. Obviously, there's too much music and stuff going on, but animation looks start skipping forward a bit.
It's a sin.
Facial animations,
What a tune that is.
phenomenal, as you'd expect. I want some light up Adidas high tops. You just know that they're going to be given out to like 4 content creators at launch. She's driving a Porsche with a Sony tape deck wearing Adidas stuff. If Naughty Dog haven't cashed in, I don't know what has. God damn. From the team that bought you Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, The Last of Us. It's a bit of Star Wars. Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet. Interesting. Nice retro 80s synthwave sort of pop at the end. Okay, is that the end of it? Well, there you have it. Yeah. Oh, no, that is it. That's it. Okay. We'll jump back over them. So we'll finish off with the last bit then. Naughty Dog's next sci-fi game is hack and slash Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that might be one of the standout games in the whole thing, and it's easy to see why with Naughty Dog obviously pulling out all the stops for a game like that all over again. I'm going to say this now. I can see this getting absolutely battered on social media because people want the games to be played one particular way, and having a female protagonist is probably going to piss a lot of people off. But for me, that game looks incredible. I can't wait to play more of it.
Woke knobbers, mate. Fucking all this DEI shit from the Grums masses.
Yeah, you can see it coming a million miles away, though, right? Like, I'm not the only person thinking that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's just a shame. We had that sort of shit with Star Wars Outlaws and things as well, didn't we? So, yeah, wallopers. Let me just finish this title. Recap. Game Awards. Boom. Let's get this on the screen. Bosh. So, see, I think this looks good. I do have differing sort of bits in there in terms of the visual fidelity was phenomenal. The facial animations, the quality, the characters and stuff. But you kind of expect that with how good The Last of Us Part 2 was. That was phenomenal. So this is some of that. The only thing, and it's not so much a bad thing, it's just kind of an indifferent thing that I probably need to get used to. The only thing for me is the fantasy vibe to it. I've quite liked Naughty Dog games being kind of grounded, and I realise I'm saying that when I'm talking about Nathan Drake fucking climbing through a submarine in a fucking top of a mountain sort of shit. You take everything with a pinch. But because Nathan Drake, it was about a real man with family and doing stuff on the planet that I'm on, and then The Last of Us was like a real man with a family and going into the future, but not too far into the future, just like a couple of weeks into the future when all the world goes to shit with zombies and shit. It's like super relatable, and that's where a lot of the beauty for me with Naughty Dog stuff came from. Is I can see me in that. I can and not the character but the environment. So stick me now on Star-Lord's spaceship fucking with 80s music and so on. So you mentioned like the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd not even twigged with the fucking 80s music bit at the end. Yeah, very much that sort of vibe, which that 80s futuristic, postmodern, retro past, introspective sort of vibe has been done and has been done again and has been done a lot. So that's the bit that I'll need to come to terms with. But it's not a bad thing. It's a good. The reason it's been done is because it's a thing that people like. They want to see the future, but they want to keep the hand on the past as well. So that's not a bad thing. The only thing is not having someone mooching down a street that looks like a street that I could be mooching down. Not having people dealing with societal crumbling in a society that could be the one that I'm in. Hell knows our fucking society is crumbling at the moment. God damn. So changing that for light up Adidas high tops and a spaceship sort of stuff is like, it could be very, very good. And the bit where she pulls out the lightsaber-esque thing and fights, I'm thinking, okay, well, that could be pretty good too. The only thing there was that monster robot thing looked a bit out of place because she was hyper-realistic when she's shaving her head and you see her face and having the drink and setting the spaceship going, you're seeing the EQ and all that sort of stuff. But that looked like something from a Big Hero 6. It didn't look as visually detailed or like it fit there. It looked like a kid's movie villain rather than a Naughty Dog game villain. So, yeah, that's where my apprehension sort of stuff is with it. But, yeah, give me more. Give me more. I'm intrigued to see more. I'm not like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm like, ooh, this could be something. This could be something. So, yeah. Naughty Dog? Never heard of him, says Tito. Bounty Hunters in Space. Did you want more gameplay than cutscenes? Not really. I mean, did I want that? Yes. But did I expect that? Not really. Because this is the Game Awards and it's the first thing. If anything like that, like the first announcement / teaser, if that's not going to come in a PlayStation show and it's going to be in the Game Awards, it's just going to be that. If you want to see more gameplay, that will come in a State of Play or a PlayStation Showcase or a PlayStation Experience sort of event. PlayStation will own their content for the first major deep dive. Because The Last of Us, that mission where you're getting the stealth mission and you're in kind of like from the first Last of Us, like E3 2013, 14, 12, somewhere around there, was in PlayStation Showcase at E3. They have their big reveals and so on. So I would not have expected more gameplay at this point. I would have liked it, but I wouldn't have expected it. So that's done everything that I kind of would have expected it to. I just wouldn't have expected that direction. But that said, Naughty Dog are pigeonholing themselves if they only do real-world 20th century video game content about proper societal things that have then pivoted. So why can't they do a space game? Why can't they do a Bounty Hunters in space? Why can't they have lightsabers and robots and stuff? Nobody said they can't. So if anyone's going to do that and do it well, chances are Naughty Dog are going to smash the fucking story. So yeah, I'm very much, I'm not turned off at all. I want to see more. Okay, out of all of the games in there, if you had to pick one or two, what would you say stood out for you the most? I'm going to quickly run through the list. So we've got Ninja Gaiden, nice, Graham's learned. One Move Away, Slay the Spire 2, Dave the Diver in the Jungle, Thick as Thieves, Shadow Labyrinth, Steel Paws, Kiora, Rematch, Solasta 2, The Witcher 4, Elden Ring Night Rain, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Catley, Project Robot, Outer Worlds 2, Split Fiction, Steel Hunters, The Long Dark 2, Borderlands 4, Final Fantasy 16 in Tekken, Virtua Fighter Remake, Project Century, Turok Origins, Warframe 1999, Pal Worlds Update, Onimusha Way of the Sword, The First Berserker Kazan, Dying Light, The Beast, Stage Fright, Game of Thrones King's Road, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC, Sonic Team Racing, Mafia The Old Country, Dispatch, Capcom's Okami sequel, or Naughty Dog's new game, Intergalactic The Heretic Prophet.
There was a lot. It actually might be one of the best game awards that we've had in terms of things that resonate with me and games that I think would be amazing. By the way, I'm really getting a dry mouth now because we've been talking for that long. I'm going to pick out 5 because I genuinely can't pick up all the time. I'm going to get my fucking Capri Sun out here. I think I'm going to pick out 5 because I can't pick out 2. It's impossible. So the new Naughty Dog game, that's definitely one of them. Mafia The Old Country, even though we didn't see that much of it. The Game of Thrones game, probably out of them all, is the one that I'm thinking, yeah, this is a game that I can genuinely sit there and get involved just to have more Game of Thrones in my life. I'm very much a happy with that. More Pal World updates. Actually, Project Sentry is definitely making the list too. It's probably it might be a turning point with me in the Yakuza franchise because it's not something that I've gone, do you know what, that is a must play. Whereas this, I think it might be, I think it might be.
The funny thing is, like you said, I'm going to pick 5 and not 2. I was waiting for you to finish your list so I could throw in my curveball and go, do you know what? I agree with most of that. I'd probably be similar. And I was thinking Project Sentry would have been my sort of curveball where I was like, this looks fucking class. I definitely would throw that one as my curveball. So quickly scan through. Naturally, you've got your obvious ones like The Witcher 4 and what's it called? Intergalactic, the Naughty Dog game. They kind of speak for themselves in terms of, okay, that's fine. But I would still include the football game just out of general interest and ticking boxes. So the slow clap football game called Rematch, that's what it's called. But the Outer Worlds 2 also has my attention because never playing the Outer Worlds, the trailer was fucking really, really good. Very creative trailer. So yeah, same as you, but those as well. Actually, tell you what, adding another one. The Long Dark 2, but maybe that's because I spent 3.5 hours playing DayZ last night, so that has my attention too. So yeah,
I mean, I must have got that mixed up with the different game, The Long Dark, because I didn't realize it was a first-person DayZ. I'm not going to say clone because it's obviously got a lot more going for it than that, but it has the hunger, the temperature. You need to eat, you need to all of that stuff in there, which obviously DayZ has been. I'm not going to say perfecting since 2011, 2012, but it's definitely one of the main games that has that feature built into it that people love.
Sorry, I was distracted then. My phone just flashed up with something and then realised that you were one of those things because you just sent a WhatsApp as well. So,
yeah.
Nice.
Multitasking at its finest.
So, Pirate, you wanted to know what we thought on Intergalactic. What were your thoughts on Intergalactic, the new Naughty Dog game? Talk Shows Unmuted said Game of Thrones game I heard is a mobile game. See, I'm not against that. Obviously, I would prefer HD, like some high fidelity gameplay, but I'm not against that. I'm addicted to just one game so much that I put in 13,180 hours in the game. What game is that? I don't tend to play one game. I tend to play loads of games, me. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Although I am trying to branch out more recently. PUBG. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I'm not a fan. I don't tend to ignore these pans. You can't see them. It's fine. Whatever. Okay. So we're going to move on from this. That was the Game Awards 2024 recap. Is there anything that stands out for anyone? Does anybody want to air any concerns or anything that they thought probably needed a bit more love that we didn't give it? Do feel free to jump in chat and let us know. Whilst you do that, though, I will hide the discussing now and get us prepped to jump over to our last news article of the day. This is nowhere near as long as that. This one will be done in just a few seconds, and this is the way that we tend to wrap up every single week with an exclamation mark FF in the chat if you want to. You don't have to. You can do. As this is Free Game Friday, written by Morgan Park, Sarah Richter, and Lincoln Carpenter over at PC Gamer. The article says it was updated 16 hours ago, which makes me think it's going to be up to date, because sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes they miss it, particularly in December. But there we go. Nice. December 12th to December 19th, The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, which I think is free on Game Pass. But if you don't have Game Pass, you've got a PC and you think, I want to play some Lord of the Rings action, well, there you go. I'll read you through the blurb. Fancy exploring the depths of a horrible crypt for the holidays? Well, visit the Bibby house. Return to Moria throws your dwarf into the ruins of Moria, the underground dwarf kingdom that fell to all kinds of baddies in the past. It's a survival crafting bent. It's a survival / crafting bent. Is that a name for a game? Bent? Oh, there you go. I'll say game because I don't understand it. It's a survival crafting game that you can take on solo or with friends to survive hordes of goblins and orcs. And yes, they have a cave troll. Nice. So that is available until next Thursday, where it is replaced by
Mystery Game.
Ooh.
There was something. Well. I think it was shared in the Discord, maybe by a JMK. JMK shared a link. Someone shared something in the chat, in the Discord yesterday about Epic are going to be dropping a bunch of games through December, but they tend to do that anyway, so that doesn't surprise me. It's just good to get the reminder. So yeah, if you are on PC, make sure you get your Prime games. There is a bunch of them, including, I believe, Outer Worlds is one of the Prime games, and some Baldur's games, Baldur's Gate games as well are available through GOG, but still PC games free. If you haven't got a GOG account, create one because there's tons that are given away on there through Prime. Your Epic games tend to do a bunch of stuff through Christmas too as well. So make sure you keep your eyes out for everything. And it's not uncommon for PlayStation to do it. Oh, here's a Christmas present. But PlayStation aren't very user-friendly anymore, so we'll see whether that happens or not. But yeah, there you go. So Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is free. Talk Shows Unmuted says it's meant to be absolute rubbish, so that probably explains why Wobbles played it a lot. So there you go. I've not heard anyone say it's the best game they've ever played, but I've not heard anyone say it's rubbish. But yeah, horses for courses. It's not my kind of game generally anyway, but I will take it because it's free. Nice. Okay, we're going to wrap things up. So that was it. There is a lot of stuff that has been announced in last night's Game Awards, including the big hitters, which are The Witcher 4. We have seen some footage on it finally. And Naughty Dog are back with a brand new IP, Intergalactic, the something heretic. I can't remember what it was. Where it was the Heretic Prophet. There you go. Looks almost Star Warsy meets Aliens meets Guardians. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it actually evolves over time, because it might not be anything like that. There was a 4-minute trailer which we didn't watch. It might have a different kind of ambience if I watch it through. So you do the same. Feel free to do it in your own time. The whole video from the Game Awards is up last night, or it's been split up on their YouTube. But for now, we're going to wrap things up. Appreciate everyone for dropping in. If you want any more from us, are we back tonight, Bib?
No, actually. Good point. I've already let the people know who we usually stream with, because it was my birthday on Monday. If you guys didn't already know, thank you very much to those of you that wished me happy birthday in the Discord on Monday. I got tickets for a gig tonight in Manchester, so I will be heading there.
Well, told you then. Whatever. The missus is out at Christmas do tonight, so maybe I stream then. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
We'll see. I don't know. I might just do some off-stream Daisy or something. Because
get used to it.
Yeah, I was streaming it last night. I was playing it last night with Nacho and Nietzsche, and I definitely am glad that I didn't stream it. Not because it was terrible. It was because there was just lots of. I would not be talking to the stream or to the chat because I was like, "How do I do this? What is that? Where do I go for them?" Yeah,
it's such a complex game as well.
Like even things like fucking Nacho had to show me how to fish, how to cook the fish, how to eat the fish without burning my mouth because it was too hot. All that shit. Fuck. No idea. Yeah. Which, like, it would have been learning for content for people that might have been interested, possibly. But for the people that want to engage with the streamer, there would have been none of that, pretty much. So, yeah.
So I might be able to squeeze one in this weekend, obviously considering it's getting closer to our Christmas break, so I might be able to jump in at some point this weekend, but it definitely won't be tonight. I'll be in Manchester.
Getting wrecked on the sauce, mate.
Yeah, birthday. I mean, I'm having more birthdays than the bloody Queen at this rate, but...
Yeah, it's not for me, that shit. Your birthday's on that one day, and done. Forget it again. West, how you doing, mate? I love Moria, but they did nothing with it, which was a huge disappointment. Boo. It's great. Just one word of advice: don't let Wobbles host, as he's never available. Nice. Defo looks like my kind of game. I was the opposite from what you was feeling. Like the idea of Naughty Dog going from being something that was ultra realistic to futuristic. Also, you like that. See, I always feel like stick to what you're good at kind of thing, and I like Naughty Dog stuff for that it being Naughty Dog stuff, and if I want futuristic stuff out there, then other people have done it. But then if Naughty Dog proved to me that they could do futuristic stuff, then that's another string in there. But it's just one of those, like, how many times have you been burnt in video games industry from brands trying to do something that someone else does better and then not doing it as well, and you're like, ugh. But if they smash it, then that'll be a thought of yesterday that's irrelevant tomorrow. So there we are. Well, I timed that badly. Happy birthday, Bibs, says West. Hi, West. Bye, West. Thanks, mate. Another birthday I missed. Fuck's sake. Happy belated birthday, Bibby. Yeah, Spike thanked me for my birthday. Wished me wishes and stuff for my birthday about 5 days after. So cheers, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, well, on brand.
Yeah, it all counts. Have you all played Rivals? What, Marvel Rivals? No. It looks good. I watched a few people playing it, and it looks good, but it just doesn't look like that Overwatch vibe is not my sort of vibe. Maybe I'd probably enjoy it. Me, less so, even with the Marvel skinnings.
It's a bit mummy.
Stick to what you're good at. Me does nothing. Nice. Okay, yeah. So reminders, we are back tomorrow, possibly tonight, because I'm unsupervised, so I might jump on stream tonight. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow for some gameplay fun times with the Poobie. And then maybe if Bibby's not absolutely trolled from his sessions in town tonight, maybe another one over the weekend. Who knows? Who knows? Best thing you can do is follow this channel. You'll get all the notifications for what we do and when we do it.
Yes.
But we're going to wrap it up. But before we do, is there what you want to add, Mr. Bib?
Yeah, super long show today, and we have one more left of this year. So if you want to help shape the final show of 2024, there's two ways you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Rollers across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. All we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and opinions week, where they give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show. Oh, sorry, on the very last show of 2024, next Friday, Mr. Graham Day. But at what time?
10 a.m.
Ish. Day after Christmas due day, so who even knows?
Ish, yeah. Next scoop will be the day after the Christmas due, so it might be punctual, it might not be. We'll see how we get on, but we are going to wrap things up there. So I appreciate everyone for dropping in. Stick around. We're going to raid one of our friends. We're not sure who yet, so we'll figure that bit out as we go. From us, though, have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you the next time we see you. Until then.
Stay frosty, mother bitches.